Hi, I'm on page 103, going to work through the quiz review with you. So we are supposed to tell if it's true or false based on the picture that we see, based on this diagram. So our points B, C, and D coplanar. So we find points B, C, and D, and we want to tell if they're on the same plane. Alright, so our points B, C, and D coplanar. Well, we have B, C, and D. I think we would all agree that they're all on that light blue plane, on plane P. Now B is special because it's on the intersection of the two planes, so it's also on plane Q. But it's definitely on plane P with C and D, so we would say yes. Number 2. Sorry about the little mess here. Our points, point A is on line L. Well, let's see if we agree with that. Point A is on line L. No, right? Definitely not. That's no. Number 3. Plane P and plane Q are perpendicular. So if you look at plane P and plane Q, this idea of perpendicular planes seems a little bit complicated sometimes, but if you see this right angle box here, then we say yes, they are perpendicular to each other. And as you look at that right angle box, whoops, eraser, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Number 4, so this is a totally different type of problem. Number 4 says, solve the equation. Write a reason for each step. So as we go to start solving, we'll do this first. The reason for that, subtraction property. You can definitely abbreviate. And we're done. There's no answer property or anything. Number 5. I like to move the x's first. You might have started in a totally different way and your problem is fine. But for me, the way I'm doing this, that's the subtraction property. Then my next step is to add 14. See, I like to move the x's first to change it to a 2-step. So that's addition property. And then I divide both sides by 2, which is division property. And then I get x equals 15. All right, number 6 and 7. Let me just save myself the writing. Number 6 is saying use the property to copy and complete the statement. So we're using subtraction property. So they should be subtracting the same thing on both sides. So when I'm looking at this, I see how this equation started. And then this is the next step they did. So it's like we have, if we look at it vertically, we have AB equals to CD. And then they subtracted EF from both sides of the equation. So what minus EF would be AB minus EF equals CD minus EF. This has got to show up over here on this side. And that minus EF is them using subtraction property. So AB is still here on the left and CD is still here on the right. That's really all you got to do. Maybe you don't even need to think through it this way. Number 7, we're using the transitive property of equality. That's one of our RSTs. Reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. And it discusses 1, 2, and 3 things. So transitive property, we got A and B and C. Those are our three things. So if A equals B and B equals C, and remember we could sort of take out the part that was in both, and that leaves A equal to C. So if I wanted to practice one more with you, I think sometimes the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are a little harder. So let's do that. Let's do angle X equals angle Y. Then, if angle X equals Y, then blank plus 30 degrees equals blank plus 30 degrees. So addition property says they're going to add something to both sides, and they did. But this still has to show up. This still needs to be on the left, and this still needs to be on the right. So they added 30 degrees on both sides, and they still get angle X plus 30 equals angle Y plus 30. Hopefully that's making more sense. If not, please come and see me. Last one I'll show you is multiplication property. If A equals B, then 3 times something equals 3 times something. So multiplication property means we should multiply something on both sides. And you see this, multiplying on both sides. Well, these are the sides. Those things are still there. So A is still here and B is still here. So if A equals B, then we can multiply both sides by 3 and get 3A equal 3B. Okie dokie. Good luck. Please come see me if you have trouble.